Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Like to just make sure everything's working. I still feel like I'm a little bit blown out. Let me just adjust this a little bit more. I think that's a little better. Yeah, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. It's Wednesday night. This is the chance we have to chat a bit more than in the comments. So the whole reason I do this stream is so that you can ask me questions and I can actually answer, and we can have a bit more of a conversation. And especially with a lot of the content I've been putting out lately, the Action 4, the Air 3 stuff. I got another video coming either tomorrow or Friday. Gotta let me know. Would you prefer a video tomorrow, or do you care? Do you want me to wait till Friday comparing the Air 3 and the Mini 3 Pro? That's the next video up on the channel. Anyway, and yeah, so lots going on. I leave tonight for a job in Las Vegas. I'll be down there for a couple of days and then back here, and just crazy busy lately, which is good. Trying to get videos out on the channel and then keep up with everything else. So I'm gonna say hi to people in the chat. Alaska Filmer was here earlier. Tentos, Bush Hunter, Chris, Keith Brown, Argonautus Drone, cool. Michael Walsh, Drone Shots, Daniel Martinez, Fly Zone, what's up, man? Phantom Flight 101, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. And Craig G, and Bretner, OC, look it up. Hey. Eric V, H4 Services, good to see you all. Hi, Lee, how are you doing? By the way, Lee Coates in the chat. She is the fantastic helicopter pilot that I get to work with every once in a while. And so she's starting to post stuff on YouTube. If you want to see more of that type of stuff, you should go subscribe and follow her. And yeah, she has lots of fun little adventures. Even if they are without me a bunch of the time. But yeah, anyway. Hey, Jeremy, long time no see. Yeah, it's been what, 4 or 5 hours now? Hey, Ryan Sloan. Oh, thanks, Lee. And yeah, I gotta try and get down there one more time to hang out with you one more time before fall really sets in, which I have a feeling is really close. I got up the other day to go out and do something. It was like, oh, it feels colder, and there's a lot of moisture on the ground and on the car. That means, and I saw some trees turning color, which means no, it's too early for fall. But that's Alaska for you. Okay, so first off, Tamron partnered with me to give away a 28-75 lens. So I posted that video a couple of weeks ago, and there was quite a few entries too, which is great. A couple hundred entries, awesome. And tonight is the night I get to tell you who actually won that contest. So should I do it now or should I wait a little bit? I don't think it's anybody on the chat, by the way. So if you're in the chat and you hope you won, sorry, I don't think you did. Anyway, nope, didn't see the changes yet. You're in denial. Yeah, exactly. Fall has been all summer, Jeremy says. It's true. Jeremy, you're not wrong. We really, we've had, what, 5 days, 6 days, maybe of summer? Yeah. So, all right. So before I tell you who the winner is, so the next video coming up on the channel is going to be the Air 3 compared to the Mini 3. I'm doing an in-depth review of the Air 3, and but it's kind of like, I mean, everybody who got the drone from DJI cranked their videos out really fast, and so the best way for me to get out there is to compare, and I feel like I do a decent job comparing equipment. It's kind of I don't know, feel like it's a sweet spot of mine. So that'll be the next one, and then next week sometime will be the Air 3 review, which I got to show you this, because this is one of the things you will see in the Air 3 review. Let's see if I can get it to do this. Nope. There it is. That is one of the locations I took the Air 3 to film. And this particular trip, because it has rained a lot this year, it was raining the entire time. And this is a like 10, 12-ish round trip mile hike. Plus you climb up about 2,500. Well, where I am there, I actually climbed up about 3,000 feet. You know, so I was like going all the way up going, oh man, I hope that this is worth it. Because if it doesn't stop pouring down rain, I'm not going to be able to do much with the drone, like, or do anything with the drone. But fortunately there was a short, and I mean very short, break in the weather when I got up there, and I was able to take this photo and film a few things. And yeah, it turned out spectacular. So that's one of the locations. Another location you've already seen in, if you follow me on, a shorts. I posted a shorts about it. And then on Instagram and Twitter, I've also posted about it there. So you've also seen that location with the Air 3. And yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the Air 3 review whenever it comes out. Okay, so giveaway. Giveaway time. The winner for the Tamron 28-75, and again, I want to thank Tamron for partnering with me on that. It's pretty cool that they did that. But the winner, and I've already notified and been in contact, so don't email me saying you're this person, because we've already been in contact. You would never do that anyway, right? But is Nikki of, it's Stupor Fox Photo, which I thought is the coolest name. Anyway, so congratulations, Nikki. We've been in touch a little bit already, so you already know you won. But, you know, as soon as you get me the info that I requested, then Tamron will get that lens out to you. And I hope that it helps you, like, create some awesome content and take some awesome photos. I really enjoyed that lens when I used it, when I owned it. And then a while back, I sold a camera and I gave that lens away because somebody else needed it more than I did. And so, yeah, but congratulations, Nikki. You won the contest. Good job. Thanks for playing, entering, whatever. But thank you to everybody who entered, and thank you for being part of this channel. So, okay. Now we've announced the winner. We've talked a little bit about the next few videos coming up. I'm leaving tonight to go somewhere much, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit degrees hotter than it is here. Oh, that sounds so wretchedly hot. Yeah, but I'll be down in Las Vegas for a couple days working on a TV show down there, and hopefully I'll survive. I just kind of look at the weather down there like, dear Lord, what am I doing going to these places? I don't know if I can handle it. Anyway, OC, look it up. Another Emmy, Eric? No, I have been nominated, or a project I worked on has been nominated for another Emmy. I think on that one I was actually nominated as a DP, or or other camera crew or something like that. I can't remember, but I have been nominated for a second Emmy. I will find out much later this year if it wins or not. That's why I make the big bucks. Thanks, Captain Joe. I wish. Let's see. So, OC, look it up. You asked, and I also saw Eddie's in here. Eddie Nunez, nice. Arizona Drone Dude. And Richard Black. Hedex 15. Yeah, I'm about to find out what that's like. And Bud Bieber. And yeah. So, too hot for us Alaskans, Keith. I agree 100%. Let's see. So, okay. Do I storyboard every time I go flying? OC, look it up, ass. I do not. A lot of times I go flying just for the fun of it, just to kind of see, and then a lot of times, like, I'll have a general storyline in my head of what I want to do, and then it changes dramatically when I get in the location because of either conditions in the location or the location itself is not what I thought it was. That happens a lot. Pretty much anytime I've gone anywhere with Lee, it's like, well, let's go somewhere, and then when we get there, we'll figure out what we can do, because it's just the landscape, especially where glaciers are involved, like, stuff is changing so much because of the nature of glaciers are constantly moving and they're constantly changing, and then the weather plays a huge factor into those things, and you know, So it just depends. So I do try and get a general idea of what I want to film and the story I want to tell when I'm going somewhere, when I'm going to be on a certain location. That is always very widely open to change and interpretation, though, depending on what's going on when I get to that location. So case in point, like I've now gone to several locations with the Air 3 with the intent of filming a specific storyline. Each one of those locations I got to was not good for that specific storyline. So now I've still filmed a lot there, and now I'm looking at all of the stuff I filmed going, okay, but it doesn't fit the original storyline I was going to go with, but it does fit this storyline. So I'm going to redo the story when I do the review of this, which will be a very story-driven review, and fit it in with everything that I've been doing with this drone so far. So, yeah. Let's see. There's a drone. It's not too hot, just 110. Yeah, you're probably used to it. I am not used to that, man. Robert Schwimmer, hey. Hope you're doing well. Somebody else asked about LUTs. Yes, they are coming. I just about am done. I've had the most ridiculous question. Craig G, you asked me about LUTs. D-Log LUTs suitable for D-Log M footage and record 709 LUT with the D-Log M. They're different. D-Log M and D-Log are very different. One is extremely like flat. D-Log is very, very flat. D-Log M is a fair bit less flat color profile. So they're not interchangeable. When I release my LUTs, they will, there'll be like a specific one for D-Log and a specific one for D-Log M. And then some like creative LUTs that, look cinematic or whatever the YouTubers are saying now. Which I think that's probably it. But yeah. So let's see. Unfortunately, you donated DJI mic transmitter during the Richmond Tomoku canoe crossing. Uh-oh. Oh, dang. I assume you donated it to the river or the sound or wherever you were in the water, near the water by. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. As people are saying, dry heat. It doesn't matter. There's a point where it's just too hot. And, yeah, anyway. Eddie Nunez. Is it safe to fly a drone at those temps? Batteries specifically, Eddie? That is a real concern. For us, we've worked with the production company to do most of our shooting in the morning and the early-ish morning up till about noon. And then in the evening after the temperature starts to drop in the afternoon. Because we are very concerned about, and this is interesting with batteries in drones specifically because they're all LiPo batteries. Like they can handle quite a bit more cold than manufacturers say, provided you take certain precautions. And I've done videos about that here, and other people have done videos about that. But you want to make sure the battery stays warm before you put it in, and then once it's in the air, you want to make sure it stays above a certain temperature when you're flying around, so that the voltage doesn't start to drop dramatically. The issue with heat is they can only handle so much heat because you can't like cool a battery off. I mean, when you're flying, you are cooling it, but it's also generating more heat because you're demanding more power from it. So there is a limit to how much heat batteries can handle. I suspect that this is going to be on the edge of how much the Inspire 3 or Mavic 3 batteries can handle. We're going to find out. So, yeah, stay tuned. Follow me for more tips on how to destroy a drone while flying for stuff or ruin batteries. Follow me for the fastest ways to ruin your drone batteries. H4 services? You're onto something. I don't want to give all my secrets away. I did make a video about using waypoints, and yes, I had a friend there who's also a Part 107 pilot, and you see him in one of the photos, and so he was actually, keeping an eye on stuff for me, because there's some question on whether it's legal to like make the drone do something, put the controller down, and then just walk away from it. You're supposed to be able to take over the drone control anytime you need to. So, but I did program all those waypoints because I had very specific shots in mind that I needed to get and wanted to get, and so those waypoints just make it work. And especially if somebody doesn't have a lot of experience flying drones and they don't know, they're not super proficient at getting kind of more complicated shots like that, then waypoints is easy because I can program it in and then hand somebody who can, like, they're Part 107, they can be the pilot in command for a bit, and just say, okay, when I yell at you to press go, and then the drone does everything else. So waypoints, and it's like the fact that waypoints are on this, just man, it makes it good. And I did really put it to the test when I went up to that mountain lake, because I really used waypoints a lot. So Kip Jackson, am I going to BH Creative Expo in September in New York? No, I'm not. I would love to, and I would love to do more work with B&H, like build more of a relationship with them, but yeah, I am not. So be cool to go, but I can't, unfortunately. Tentos, yes, the Air 3 does waypoints, and I take full credit for DJI taking that idea after they saw my Mavic 3 video about using waypoints to make really creative shots. Like, you know, these kind of cool one takes that you'd be really hard to do any other way. So, yeah, I'm going to take credit for it. They took my idea and ran with it and put waypoints in the Air 3, and that's what they did. So, Sam, you don't get why they don't add waypoints to the Mini 3. Very disappointing. Well, so waypoints, like, you do need some sort of obstacle avoidance. So the Mini 3 Pro, maybe, but the issue there is if you don't have 360 obstacle avoidance and you're programming the drone to like go from forward flight to then sideways flight, or, you know, up and around an object or anything like that, the Tentos, I have affiliate links in my videos. So Daniel Martinez, I will be doing a video on the Mavic 3 and the Air 3. I mean, the pricing structure is vastly different, and it depends on what you're going to do with the drone. And that's all I'm going to say for now, because I really need to put the video out. That'll be next week as well. But yeah. So they can't add waypoints to something like the Mini 3 or Mini 3 Pro because of the sideways flight options and what other things you can do. Plus, it needs a very accurate GPS, and I'm not sure the Mini 3 Pro GPS is that accurate. But I mean, I could be wrong. But I think a lot of it has to do with the obstacle avoidance. Kip Jackson, oh, thank you. How am I liking my live stream setup? Biggest hassles, etc. So I like it a lot. The biggest hassle was getting it all set up beforehand, because I use OBS and then I use Stream Deck for switching stuff, which works well together, but there was some issues for a while there with OBS. And then I use an ATEM Mini from Blackmagic for like live camera switching. Stream Deck controls OBS, and then yeah, so I like it. I like it now, but it took me a bit to get to where it felt good and was fluid. And then I'm using the A7S III and the 24mm 1.4 G Master lens, which is great, a great combo. Gives me this lovely blurry background behind me here. Hey Kevin, let's see. You can do waypoints in the map, also out flying the waypoint course. OC, look it up. Yeah. Oh, I think you can do waypoints using a third-party app like Lychee on the Mini 3 or Mini 3 Pro, or maybe that was just the Mini 2, but that might be something for you to look into. Let's see. Sam, look into a third-party app for the Mini or Mini 3 and see if Lychee or one of those type apps supports it, because they did give you waypoints. They did give people waypoints and other options, tracking and stuff in the Mini 2, if I remember right. Yeah, exactly, Arizona Drone Dude. The -10 to +40 C is the kind of the limits that DJI says, and we'll be pushing right at that. The mornings, not so much, but the evenings, depending on how fast the temperature drops, like it's going to be pushing it. So our idea is to like hyper cool the drone in the car while we're getting ready to go, and then yeah, Tyler, Exactly. Evolutionary Tom, you spent a year on ADAC a while back in the day. Wow. Do you ever go out the Aleutians? I would love to, and I really want to. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. I'm hoping to maybe next year. I really would love to do that, though. Daniel, you don't like where the Mavic 3 is a slot for the micro SD card. Very difficult to take out, but I'm loving the drone other than that. Daniel, yeah. That was kind of a complaint a lot of us had. They did kind of fix that with the Air 3. It's a little easier to get in here and pop it. It is easier. Still not super easy, but it's better. You know, what can you do? I wish they had done that a little bit differently, but it is what it is. Brian Anderson, does the Air 3 have 90-degree upward imaging like the Mini 3 has? No, it has 60-degree, which the Mini 3 is 60-degree too. So it has the same amount of movement as the Mini 3. I may not be ready to post that video. I might have to record a bit about that. But yeah, it's which is a lot, to be honest. And let's see, I'm just making sure I got this right. Max angle, tilt angle, forward 40, backward, that's that. Gimbal, mechanical range, tilt 135 to 80. Oh, it's to 80. Oh no, controllable range 90 to 60 degrees, which is the same as the Air 3. So it matches that on the Air 3 as far as the tilt angle, which is cool. And then it's actually, I love that. The really steep up tilt it's just kind of bizarre. It's very, very cool. Let's see. Yeah, you can, but you think DJI avoids the warranty care refresh? It's possible, Sam. Yeah, we'll see. H4 services, I am a Mac guy. I use a MacBook Pro, and it is fantastic. The thing is an absolute beast. Johnny, ADAC would be amazing to fly. Yeah, Alaska Airlines does go there. And, yep, and that's the plan. I just haven't had time just yet to be able to go out that way. But I really want to go. It would be super cool. Super, super cool. MacBook Pro, beast for editing. It is, Daniel. Agreed. DJI 04 transmission found very good. How are you finding it? Michael, it's extremely good. It's really robust. I don't know that I've noticed a massive difference between 03 or technically 03 Plus with what I've got, my setup with the Mavic 3 and the Pro controller. But there definitely is, it's good. And this controller, the new DJI RC2, is quite a step up from the DJI RC. It definitely makes a big difference if you're flying with this kind of a combo. Eddie, yes, I have been. I have. There's a few different places that I've flown that there are no restrictions, no height restrictions, and I've been able to fly up to 3,000 feet. Actually, what's interesting is the Inspire allows you to go even higher than that. I think it was like 4,600 feet or 4,700 feet, somewhere in there. Depending on where you are. But yeah, for me, it's been great because like when I'm out in the mountains and I'm, running up a mountainside, I don't run into that ceiling nearly as fast, which is really awesome. Robert, what's my ratings of all the Mavic 3 platforms? Of course, it depends on shooting requirements. Ratings like favorite to least favorite or what? Look, Mama Drone, you got your Mavic 3. Awesome. Congrats. Let's see. Dutch Harbor, bucket list. May get to go there for work one day, Keith. Yeah, Dutch Harbor would be cool. I might actually be going out that way later this year, like in the winter for a job. We'll see. Ugh. OC, look it up. Yeah, that's the thing is like as soon as you get around any airports, and especially any major airports, that is not going to happen. But yeah, I have gone up that far, and it's really nice in the mountains, especially. Brian Anderson, I have not. Sounds like a cool place, though. Do you remember how I did it? You go to the settings, change the limit, but you're still limited to 1640 feet. That is probably where you're flying, Eddie. Because mine, like I go into the settings, push the limit, height limit all the way over, all the way up to 32, whatever it is, 3,280 feet, and then it lets me do it. But I feel like there have been places where I've tried and it hasn't, but it's been because of the location I've been. So when you go to the Dominican, which I've also been to now, which is cool. If I remember right, I did try it in the Dominican and it worked great there. So, but I wasn't anywhere near the airport either. So yeah. But yeah. Craig, looking forward to the resets. Thank you. And I promise, like I am actually working on getting them out. Right now I'm not a web developer and I really don't want to learn a lot about web developing. And so linking my current website with a storefront that can host digital products and stuff has been my hang up. Not because it's that difficult, but because it's hard to motivate myself to do it. But I am working on it, I promise. H4 services. They did send me the Action 4, which I was happy to do. It was a challenging review, partly because of the process. Like pre-release is challenging, which I'm not surprised about because I've heard that before and I've worked with other people who have pre-release stuff, and it definitely is an interesting thing. But also because I filmed the entire thing. And then when I pulled my SD card out, it snapped in half. And I was like, so I had to run out and redo the entire thing. And it was, yeah, anyway. So, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do anything. I know that like their action camera department is different than their gimbal section and their drone section. And I don't know if any of them talk to each other. Who knows? So maybe if it happens, great. I'm done asking. They know who I am. They know where I am, and they know what I'm capable of. So we'll see. Kip. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, Tamron has been great to work with, and I really appreciate them partnering with me and like the giveaway and stuff, and then allowing me to get a chance to test out some of their lenses is really, really cool. Eddie, yeah, exactly, right? There's no rules. Oh, yeah. Yeah, H4 services, like I literally like popped the SD card out, and as I like pulled it out, it just snapped. Like right here, right behind where the contacts are. I've never had that happen before, and I don't know, like I don't feel like that SD card was that old. Maybe it was, but I don't know. It was bizarre. So everything was gone, and I had to start over from scratch. Anyway, Jose, hope all is well. What do you recommend for storage of your drone media? Running out of storage space in your Mac? So, Jose, I honestly I buy like 8 terabyte drives, like water. But lately I have switched and I set up an NAS, a network attached storage server, and I've been putting everything on that. Now, I've been putting everything like from 7 years ago up till now on it. So I'm running out of space on that as well because I only have I have like 60 terabytes, but it also, has redundancy. So if a drive fails, it's not a big deal. And so I am working now on expanding that to a larger unit. And yeah, but that's what I do. Like if you don't need, 50 terabytes of storage or something like that, then buy a couple of high capacity 8 terabyte drives from Best Buy or Costco or wherever you can get them and put your stuff on there. You can spend more money and get something like the SanDisk G drive. I think it's SanDisk. Anyway, it's a big silver enclosure like at 22 terabytes, and I have one of those. But if you don't need to, 8 terabyte drives are great, and they're fairly inexpensive. Pricing out a DJI? Yeah, if you got to. Hey, Paul, good to see you. let me know how that range and height tests go, Eddie. But I know I had mine up at 3,000 feet while I was there. So I've also had it up at 3,000 feet other places too when I was running around mountains. And by the way, like, I don't flaunt the rules. You know, anytime I am going like really high up there, it's because I'm in mountains and right around mountains and trying to get up to the top of a mountain or around it or something like that. So I don't fly beyond visual line of sight really either, because honestly, every drone that's been released in like the last 3 years, the signal quality is so good, you could fly so far beyond your visual line of sight. It just really, in my opinion, range tests are kind of pointless now. What is more useful, I think, is tests that, testing obstacles between you and the drone, like trees or buildings in an RF dense environment or something like that, because that I think is, just, yeah, and he definitely do that. Federico, am I going to review the Insta360 Go 3? They talked about sending me one and doing some work together and then just went silent. So maybe I said yes, and I thought we had everything set. I sent them my info for them to, I mean, I've worked with them a few times. So anyway, whatever. Michael Walsh, am I any FPV flying these days, or are you just busy? Hope you're well. I'm doing well, man. I have done a little bit of FPV flying, and I did post some of it in my Action 4 video, which was actually really fun to go out there and fly that area and dive that mountainside. But yeah, not as much as I'd like lately, mostly because the weather has been terrible. And I'm rebuilding a few of my FPV drones to have the 03 Air unit. At this point, I might as well just wait for the 04 Air unit. I'm sure it's coming out tomorrow. Amazon, Western Digital, my books, insane amount of storage for reasonable price, 4 to 22. Yeah, those are pretty much what I buy, and I usually stick around 8 terabytes. But like I said, I do have one that's a 22 terabyte, and it works great. Yeah, I agree, Eddie. I'm glad to see you're saying that, because that I feel like is where you would see the most improvement, if you're going to see any improvement, is when you're fighting a lot of, a billion Wi-Fi signals and a bunch of other RF. And yeah, so Federico. Yeah, there's some out there. Hey, Kyle Watts, welcome. Yeah, you're not that late. You're here. That's something. Let's see. Ryan Sloan. Any suggestions on how or who to watch to get better at making nature stories? Always feel easy when you have people in frame to convey stories. Way more of a challenge to tell a nature story, in your opinion. Yeah, that is a hard one. And the best thing I would say is watch the documentaries on Netflix or Disney or Hulu. Well, Hulu has some, that are like the BBC Earth or National Geographic Earth, where they always have a character, whether it's a specific, lioness they're following around with cubs, or a bear with cubs or something. They always follow a character, even if it's not a human. They have a character in the movie or in those things. So, but I would watch a bunch of those, because they do exactly that. They tell stories, but nothing but nature. So, yeah. I've actually gotten a lot of shot ideas off of those things, which is cool. Let's see. I know somebody said they snapped their SD card getting it out of the packaging, which really is a bummer. Sorry to hear that. Let's see. Robert, you've been there, done that with the SD card fracture? Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, exactly, Robert. Like, it happens. You go out and you film for it, like, this is the most epic, amazing stuff ever. And then you pull your SD card out, it breaks. You're like, and it's all gone. Yay. So, yeah. Zachary caught being the best photographer. I don't know about that, but I try. Some SD card manufacturers have free data recovery. Anyone try that service? Sam, yeah, I don't remember if SanDisk does. I think SanDisk does. Anyway, I was like, It's by the time they would be able to get it to me, I don't know that it would. I mean, I guess some of the footage would have been useful, but for me, it was like, well, to get the video out, it's easier for me to just go out and reshoot it, and so that's what I did. A DAS? Oh yeah. So that's what I'm an NAS, switched to an NAS, and I am super happy I did, because now all I gotta do is pull it up, and I have access to all of the footage that I've shot over the last 6 years or 7 years, whatever it is been, and it's great. I mean, like today, editing, well, even the other day, editing the Air 3 and Air 2S video, like I was able to go back and pull all this stuff that I've shot with the Air 2S for that video really easy. It's great. Keith, nice. Just don't like snap the SD cards in half when you pull them out of the camera. That's my piece of advice. Yes, it does, Paul. I agree. That's why I'm like, I need a, my 60 terabytes of storage is no longer enough. I need to add to it, because I also apparently go out and film a lot. So, let's see, 438. I am thirsty. Robert, looks out well worth the wait. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. I really hope so. I'm actually very happy. I've been using them a lot in the last few videos. Like that's what I've been using. So you've seen my LUTs in the last few videos. Well, the last 2 months worth of videos probably. I don't practice what you preach. Keith. Well, my thing is, like, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to go back through and pull all this, because stock footage. Like, I've got incredible shots, tons of incredible shots. I need to be realistic that I either need to hire somebody to go through them and start pulling the good shots out and getting them ready to post, or I need to dedicate more time to that. So right now, I'm working, as a professional drone pilot and camera op for whoever hires me for stuff. Then I'm doing stuff for YouTube, and then I'm also working on developing like the next course, which I think from the poll that I posted on the community tab a while back, was the like in-depth drone video and photo course. Like, so a master class. Some of those terms drive me crazy because they've been used so much by influencers, which I also don't like. But I'm working on that as well, and so I'm like, okay, at what point, it's rough. So yeah, because especially putting together YouTube videos, like I go out and it's a whole entire day, go out and shoot, and then come back and it's most of a day to edit. So yeah, eventually I will. Paul, your camo CF card. If you shoot raw video, yeah. Exactly. That it stacks up quick. It stacks up very, very quick. Oh, Eddie, that's a good idea. I have talked to my youngest son about doing it, and he's interested because he's very entrepreneurial and very much wants to make some money. So we'll see. The other issue for that is that I have one computer, and I need to set up I'm going to set up a desktop, like a dedicated studio computer here pretty quick. And so yeah. Let's see, what am I doing here? What am I doing? All right, so questions, comments, clarifications. By the way, if you didn't see, I'm going to play it for you real quick because it's pretty dang epic. That footage, this one, is this it? Wait, is this it? Nope, that is not it. What the heck? Where did that go? Did I delete it already? What? No way. All right, so apparently I deleted that. Air 3 versus Mavic 3 Pro 70mm compared. Zulu, that will be coming. I'm going to do a Air 3 versus Mavic 3 video because I have had that question a lot. So I will definitely be putting that in that video. Let's see, is it this one? Yeah, this is it. Okay. I don't know why I deleted that. But then again, I don't know why I do a lot of things sometimes. Wait, is that this one? Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. All right, so this is part of what I've done with the Air 3, which, well, that's not the Air 3. That's the Inspire 3. And so this is also the Inspire 3 because I didn't have any footage. Now, this is the Air 3 here. And, yeah, pretty epic spot and pretty epic place to go take some photos and do some stuff. So there's quite a view up there. And thankfully, I was able to have a helicopter take me a good portion of the way up that mountainside. So I didn't have to hike the whole entire way because that's like a long, long way. H4 services, yeah. So I plan on buying a Mac Studio M2 Ultra for here because it'll be a computer I use for quite a while. So yeah. Robert Shore, take a dozen or more 128 gigabyte cards, cheap and change after every flight. It's truly peace of mind, data saved. Worst case, you need to reshoot of a fracture in the field. Yeah, exactly, Robert. And that's generally what I do. Yeah. Zulu. Yes. I am doing a review of the Inspire 3 because I've spent a decent amount of time with it now, and it's a great drone. It's not for everybody. It's really expensive, but if you make your living doing drone work, it's worth it. But yeah, you have to make your living, like your full-time income has to be coming from drones and more. So Craig, yeah, that's not a bad way. There is, and it's called USB. Crap. I don't remember if this has it or not. I think this has it, but the Mavic 3 definitely has it. But it's called like USB mode or something like that, where the drone basically powers everything off except for the USB parts that are needed to read the data. So we'll see here. Well, hopefully this doesn't blow out all my Wi-Fi, which it might. Okay, so you go in here. The only thing I wish they would do with the Air 3 is make it compatible with the RC Pro so I could HDMI out. That would be really nice. So there, video subtitles, histogram, overexposure. Maybe it's not in this one. Huh, maybe it's not. Subject scanning, gain and expo tuning. Yeah, I guess it's not. Anyway, well, what do you know? There you go. Huh. I guess I could try and see if it just does it automatically, but you know, anyway, the Inspire or the Mavic 3 has that function, or at least the Mavic 3 Cine does. I don't know if the Mavic 3 Standard has that or not. It should. I would think it would, but maybe it doesn't. Air 3 and Air 2S sensors, Scott. So I posted that video yesterday, or this morning. I think it was this morning. I don't know. It all runs together. There is a difference, and I was surprised. Like, the Air 2S footage is still, it's really nice. And so, like, I mean, yeah, there are reasons I like the Air 3 over the Air 2S. Most of it has to do with flight time and waypoints and the 70mm camera. If those weren't there, though, the Air 2S is the footage. I like the footage a little bit better coming out of the Air 2S. It just is nicer. So now I haven't messed with this long enough to be able to see how close I can get this to that sort of level, and I'm sure I can. But the Air 2S is really nice footage. All right. Drum up the business in your area. Bomb. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't have one personally up here either because I don't have the demand for it yet. If I do, then I'll get one. But yeah. Inspire 3 wise, you know. Most of what I do can be done with the Mavic 3, and I'm really happy with that. Now I have done some shots or some shoots up here with the Inspire 3, but I've had a partner come up and do it with me anyway, because it took 2 people to fly it, and we've worked together a lot, so that made more sense. Yes, H4 services, that is true. If you've flown heavy lift drones like the Alta X or Alta 8 or any of those, the Inspire seems like a bargain. And considering what the Inspire can do, it's kind of mind-blowing what it can do. The image quality coming out of it's incredible. Kip, I like the smart controllers personally, because I don't like pulling my phone out and connecting it. Plus, phones die fast in the heat or in the cold, and so it just is a little bit better for me that way. But yeah. Kip, what's my take on that? And then we'll remain with your Air 2S, waiting for the Air 3S. Yeah, Neil, you never know. You never know. Kyle, is the Air 3 better in low light? Well, yes and no. It's better in the sense that they added night mode, which basically has a really good, really heavy noise reduction. And it allows the really high ISO. But the Air 2S still has really good low light performance, but it does, when you go past a certain point, that's it. It just can't do any more. Whereas with the night mode in the Mavic 3 and the Air 3, you can go a fair bit farther in the low light. So yeah. Best microphone for my camera. The best one I use for my camera is the new Sony B1M, but that's because I use Sony. If not, look at the DD4 or the Rode NTG. Either one of those I think is really, really solid. Actually, the Sennheiser MK 200 is a really good one as well. MKE 200. Federico, absolutely, I would recommend the Action 4. The image quality coming with the D-Log M especially, but the image quality coming out of the Action 4 is really nice. So, and I will have a video coming very soon comparing the Action 4 to the Hero 11. And maybe I'll do a comparison between the Action 3 and the Action 4. I don't see that would be worth it, but maybe I'll try. Yeah, anyway. Nice, Matt G. Good choice too. The Air 3 is a solid drone. I'm impressed. It's impressed the crap out of me. I'll say that. So, yeah. Let's see. Picked up the Air 3. It would be better if the Air 2 just had a bigger single lens instead of 2. Sam. Well, and then you're like, that's the Mavic 3 Classic, basically. So I like what they're doing with this overall. I think it's a great direction, I guess. Zulu, thank you. It's the MKE 400. I really like that mic. It's a great mic. So that's another option there. Waiting to see, Paul, what the GoPro 12 is like. Yeah, me too. And I'll be getting one and then doing a comparison because, I'm a YouTuber and that's what we do, I guess. I think it helps people out. I feel like it helps you out. So I think it's, that's what that's what we do. Matt G, it is. The MKE 400 is a great mic. I did a comparison between it, the DD, and the Rode on my channel, and I was blown away by how well it performs, especially in heavy wind. It really shockingly good in heavy wind. So, yeah, it's a great little on-camera microphone. I've noticed a lot of other people are starting to use it. Like Peter McKinnon has one every now and then, and other people, I'm like, oh yeah, so it's getting out there. Any inside word on the Mini 4? I have no idea. I've seen some rumors, but who knows? If they do, I would think it'd be like a little before Christmas, because that'll be the time to try and sell it to everybody. What would I like to see it have improvements in? I mean, improvements in flight time while staying under 249 grams would be great. I I mean, I suppose maybe they could kind of take the whole cue from this, where they have the 4 obstacle avoidance sensors on the corners, and give it more obstacle avoidance. And but other than that, it's pretty limited what you can do, just because it's got to stay so small and lightweight. Let's see, Maggie. Love having 2 different lenses on the Air 3. Explored a lot of abandoned places. Having the zoom is awesome. I agree. It's really, really awesome. Thinking hard about the Mavic 3 Classic coming from the Phantom 4 V2, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, I think you would like it overall. The one thing you'll have to do, though, is you will have to, if you're going to match the Phantom 4, the look of it, then you're going to have to do some post work with the footage, because the Mavic 3 footage coming out is not sharpened in camera like other cameras have been. So, and then you might, depending on the type of subject material you do, you may miss the mechanical shutter for photos. But yeah, you'll be blown away by the flight time. I will say that for sure. A couple more minutes on the stream, and then I got to wrap it up. So if you've got questions, ask away, because this is the time to do that. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, so the Air 3 versus Mini 3, should I post that tomorrow, or should I wait till Friday? What do you think? Let me know. Best drone for a 2K budget? Ranger Rick TV. I mean, realistically, the Air 3 or the Mavic 3 Classic, either one of those, that's what I would say. Tomorrow, Federico? Okay. So Ranger Rick, I would say the Air 3 with the, I mean, honestly, I would do the Air 3 with the Flymore combo. That's what I would do. I mean, the Mavic 3 Classic is a super solid drone too. I love the main camera. The Mavic 3 is just, it is good. But you're, without, like, you do the DJI RC, you're at 1,700, and then you're, you know, like, to get the Flymore kit or anything like that, you're gonna be another 400 or 500. So with the Air 3, you could do the Zulu. You could do the Flymore kit and still be, you know, well under two grand. So that's what I would recommend, I think, personally. But it depends on what you do. So hang on a few more days, like another week, and I'll have the Mavic 3 versus Air 3 video out, and you'll be able to make a better decision based then. Makita, Milwaukee, or DeWalt? Honestly, Zulu, I'm a little bit agnostic on those brands. That being said, I think almost all of my cordless power tools are DeWalt. And that's purely because that's what I started with, and so that's what I had stuff for. Tomorrow, Johnny? All right. Better to post videos a specific day of the week? A thought process on that, Paul? It depends. Most of the time, I found that weekdays are best for me, and then weekends are not a good idea. But, you know, yeah. Northwest Florida? Sweet. I will. I would love to, H4 services. I hope to get down there again sometime soon. I don't know. We'll see. Did the Air 3 Flymore combo with the DJI Care Refresh? Came in at 1,800 and some change. Exactly, Matt G. Same thing I did. And yeah, I've been blown away by this thing. It's really good. No, Brian, nothing. We're quite a ways from there, so we're good for now. Johnny Curtis, yeah. So I will be doing a comparison between, so the next video you'll see will be the Air 3 and Mini 3 Pro comparison. And then it'll probably be the Air 3 and Mavic 3 comparison. Or Mavic 3, Mavic 3 Pro. Kind of lump them all together in that way. But, and that'll be Mavic 3 Classic as well. Comparison. And then I think and then it's either the straight up review of this or the Action 4 and Hero 11 comparison. So there you go. Ranger Rick. Yes. In most ways, except for one. The Mavic 2 Pro still has the Hasselblad color science, and it is really tough to beat that. So, there you go. Look Mama Drone. Thermal drone, 3 batteries, 2-year DJI, $6,900. Yep, $7,000 Look Mama Drone. That sounds about right. It's, but you're doing an enterprise class drone there, and those are not cheap. That's for sure. So, all right. Any other last minute questions? And then I'm going to wrap the stream up because I have to get ready to go to the airport. And yeah, should be fun. So you'll probably see some of the Mavic 3 Air 3 comparison from shots from Las Vegas. I'm kind of curious to see the low light between the two. And considering we don't have a lot of low light up here right now still, and we're getting there, but we don't have a lot, then I might be trying the Air 3 and Mavic 3 out down in Vegas where there is some actual low light. I mean, not in Vegas, although I think I got to check and see if my waivers got approved for some of that. Anyway, but there you go. So, ProRes worth it or 265? Ranger Rick, I think 265 is worth it for most everything. ProRes is worth it if you are working professionally with colorists. That my Mavic 3 Cine, the reason I have the Mavic 3 Cine is because I do use it a lot on TV shows and commercials where I'm sending all that footage off to a colorist to match up with other cameras, and they appreciate the ProRes a lot more. So, but if you're not doing that, and like all the stuff I do for myself, it's H.265 in my Mavic 3, and that's it. So yeah, Matt G, yeah, I would love to too. I'm not getting a waiver for that though. I can promise you that. That would be tough. Or next to impossible. So no, I'll be back, Keith. I'm only gone for a couple of days, so I'll be back. In fact, I'll be at the fair. I think I'm going the 20th or 21st or somewhere in there with the family. So, all right, folks, I'm going to wrap up the stream there. Thank you all for being here. Congratulations to Nikki for winning the Tamron giveaway. I hope you put that lens to good use. Yeah, stay tuned for Air 3 versus Mini 3 comparison video coming up next, and then Mavic 3 versus Air 3 coming up after that. As always, thank you all for being part of the channel, for hanging out here with me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to the next time, which should be in the same place, same time, as far as I know, live stream-wise. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon in the next video. Till then, be safe, be smart. Cheers, everybody.